everyone, and welcome to REZOcast episode 121. This is Lego, and I've got with me Hove and Wilson. As you know, this is REZOcast, the podcast for all things
Apex Legends. Yes! Yes!
This is the podcast for all things Pathfinder.
Oh my god.
Bangalore.
Wraith. We're not playing.
When was the last time you even used your ultimate?
He saved my ass with it, that game that we won.
Oh, the game where he didn't save my ass. I'm just kidding, it's fine.
Yeah, we did. We went and got you, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
It was right there.
we saved Hove's life, and he's not even appreciative.
I'm sorry,
Lego who did it.
Who was the kill leader?
That's not what we're debating.
Who finished the game? And you weren't the kill leader.
Who
you
died
were the
the
kill
most?
leader. You weren't the damage leader. I was up by 2 points.
For
Literally
record, I went
2
down
points.
like 5 times.
Yeah, so that means you were the damage leader by 2 points, but I had more kills.
Yes, this is true. Well, we are not actually the podcast for Apex Legends, although we might talk about it quite a bit because we're kind of obsessed with it right now.
We're branching out.
But at the same
It's a
time,
phase.
I did a lot of
Experiment.
Destiny stuff actually this week. Actually got to do more comp for the first time in like forever. Just randomly, I was with a team. It was with Hostile Galaxy and Bot and Tiger, and I randomly matched them in quick play, and I was like, oh, we should join up. And so we joined up, and we played like a few quick play matches, and we were like, so you want to play comp? And like we just started doing it, and we only
And doing it?
like for like 4
doing
hours.
it well.
We played for like 4 hours, and only lost like 2 games. And so
Ooh,
yeah, I'm up to like
saucy.
4,000 now. So I'm getting close to 5,500 again. I'm
You should
getting
just
there.
play my account and yeah, I'm kidding. Don't do that. That's such a far.
Dude, it's such a grind, man. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
the thing I love the most right now in Destiny is that there's tons of people out there sniping. There's tons of people out there learning to snipe. Which is my favorite part. Those are my favorite. But it's great, man. I've been sleeping on scavenger perks, man, and I picked a couple up for sniper. It completely changes the Crucible, in my opinion. The amount of special ammo, whatever your preferred special weapon is, I cannot believe I've been sleeping on perks that long. Like, night and day difference in the Crucible for availability of special. When I pick up a brick and I get 3 shots, like, man, I'm not afraid to take stupid shots, and then it's awesome when I land them. It's really good. I posted a little clip, a little teaser. It's not really a teaser. It was just kind of a combination of all the nice little snipes and stuff that I had gotten for the afternoon. And
Wait, was that
so
the
good.
one where you had the double sentinel headshot to take him out?
Yes.
Dude,
Yeah,
that was
it's where
really
I
sick.
switched to my last word, dodge, to reload my last word, then switched to my sniper because I only thought I was going to get one of them and I was going to need my last word. And they just happened to be crossing paths like that when I pulled the trigger, and yeah, it felt good. It was
So good,
It was
man.
very nice. Nice little collat.
I actually saw one guy, because I've been playing a lot of Rumble recently, because I'm really into the meta right now, how everyone's trying to snipe, everyone's using last word, and with the nerf to Telesto and to Nova Warp, in particular, those 2 things were like super dominant in Rumble, and now those aren't as dominant, and so other things are kind of rising to the top. In particular, fusion rifles are really good right now, and so many people are trying to snipe or use last word that I can kind of hop around a corner and use my fusion rifle, and I have to use it the way I did in D1. Like, you can't just like walk around the corner pre-charging because you'll get sniped in the face, you know?
Yeah.
And so I actually there was one game where there was a sniper, I can't remember what sniper he was using, but he was so freaking good with it. Every time I left him alone, he got in the lead. And so I had to start being aggressive towards the sniper player and like hopping around corners towards him so he couldn't headshot me immediately. But I also couldn't hop like in the air too high, because then I'm just a target in the air for him to headshot. Because if you go against a good sniper, that's what they'll do. And so it was a tough game. Like, it was like I was having to fight harder against that sniper than I had to against like Lunas and Not Forgottens and stuff. Like, it was nuts how good people are becoming now that a sniper has a viable like alternative to go with it.
Yep. Yeah, and if you get bodied with it, man, it puts you in a very vulnerable situation, especially if it's one of those heavier hitting ones. But they just made it recently to where I think even the weakest ones can 2-tap body. So I mean, like, you're in a pretty vulnerable position for them to switch to a hand cannon or whatever their secondary or primary weapon is and clean you up pretty easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels good to be doing it, man. Like, my favorite combo right now is 6-shot Goldie, 6 Coyote, Last Word, Maxim, and the
magazine?
The Hammerhead? Huh?
The magazine?
Yes, 100%. Full-blown 3-year subscription.
I'm a fan of Cosmo, to be...
And that's like more of like the higher class of Maxim.
It is? Because it ain't high class.
I would say, well, what can you say? You can buy school, but you can't buy class. But like, the Maxim is the for those wondering, that is I think it was the season 1 sniper from New Monarchy from Faction Rally. So unfortunately, you can't get it. I just like how snappy it is, and then like I said, I'm rocking the scavenger perks, and then I have a helmet for sniper rifle targeting. Since that sniper doesn't get a mod, I can't put like targeting adjuster or something on it. It's been helping out. Like, dude, it's been so much fun. Just me, Sam, Marcus, J-Ro, and Spiffy, and Nub all went into the Crucible the other night, man, and it was just mercy after mercy. I think it got kind of boring for some people because, like, after 6-7 games, everyone was like, all right, I'm just gonna call it on a good note.
I've been doing that a lot. Running 6 packs.
And like, as for everybody's frozen. Am I frozen?
Am I frozen?
I think we're good now.
I don't know if that was me. Really, I don't know who saw what. Anyway.
Everybody just went robot-y there, and I was like, oh, fuck me. The wind is blowing so hard outside right now. It sounds like trains going by.
Maybe it has something to do with that. Well, what I was going to say...
You said something about 6-packs.
Yes. And I had a lovely 6-pack.
6-shooter, though. Golden, I've seen a lot of people make some plays getting the recharge extra shots.
Feels good.
Using that. And then also the striker buff now... every time you shoulder charge someone in your super with the bottom tree, you get your energy back, and that has been a ton of fun. It's the one thing that has finally got me to get off the screen for a little bit.
Huh.
Is it doing it again for everyone else?
Yeah. Discord is not happy today.
Sorry, real quick before it does it again. Most fun I've ever had in PvE with 6-shot Goldie is on the strike that gives you the Mindbender shotgun, and all those ads pop up. 6-shot Goldie, dude, you just rip. Just hold R2 and never let go. Just go, 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 go. And I mean, just mowing them down. Like, I run out of time with my golden gun before I run out of shots
That's awesome.
Enemies to kill. Like, it is phenomenal. You talk about feeling like somebody from... like the lore or something like that, like a really powerful guardian.
Like the Tin Man.
Yes. Not Woodrow Wilson.
You need to record that and do a clip of it, Wilson, next time. Because I want to see that. That sounds awesome. I want to try that with the Striker Titan too, just going back and forth, hit everyone.
That's like one of the few spots that like comes to mind where I think of huge wave of just trash mob ads. Like
I think the first time I ran into those ads, I just pulled out not the Prospector, the Huckleberry, and just like held it down, you know.
It's a good feeling with that too.
Awesome gun, yeah.
Great gun.
Or Sweet Business and just hold it over a Titan barrier. Hold down the trigger.
If you got a Warlock with some them fancy sneakers, what are those things called? What the hell are those things? Lunafaction?
PF Flyers.
Yeah. Yes, PF Flyers. Guaranteed to make a Warlock run faster and jump higher. 100%.
Even if you're being chased by the beast.
Yes, especially if you're being chased by the beast.
Hope, what about your week, man? What have you been up to?
I haven't played Destiny at all. Also, everyone's frozen again.
Discord
no,
is
I
really
haven't.
cooperating.
I haven't touched Destiny at all, and that says less about Destiny than it does about like everything else going on right now in gaming, and on my own side, because I've still been trying to grind out Overwatch comp, which has been not going well the last 2 days. I started streaming. I did, like I said, start streaming a fresh playthrough of God of War.
New Game Plus?
Well, here's the thing. I meant to start a New Game Plus on Give Me God of War mode, and I started a regular new game in Give Me God of War mode.
Oh shit! So you're really going for it?
Yeah, I'm on like the second fight. Like it's still a new enemy, and they're like, "Oh, what is that? How do you fight him?" And I did the same fight for like 45 minutes, and I said, "I can't fucking do this anymore." Jimmy stopped in chat and was like, "This is where I would break a controller. Like I can't do this."
Like a "This is your brain on drugs" commercial, and just smash.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is Hove. This is Hove on God of War.
It's. I mean, a big part of it is. One, you don't have much. I mean, I have like 1% of the arsenal, like all the moves unlocked and everything.
Yeah, it's
but
tough.
also, you really have to use like dodge and block a lot, like strategically. Whereas I'm just so used to games like, okay, maybe I have to dodge once in a while, but I just go in and fuck shit up and then run and then fuck shit up. And I can't do that. So that was like an hour and 15 minutes for like one fight. But also this weekend I know I'm not going to touch Destiny because a good friend of ours, Country, who is the homie, gave me a code for the Division 2 private beta, which started today. I have it all downloaded and everything, and I was ready to go, and I'm so excited. I'm still going to play it. But then yesterday I started playing Apex Legends, and that it's fucking terrible, and I hate it, and I didn't play it until like 2:30 in the morning. And then until about 5 minutes before the podcast today. But so I've been playing the shit out of that, and I want to keep playing that. But the Division 2 beta's this weekend, and I was just talking to Wilson. I think we're going to try to hopefully jump in sometime this weekend.
Yeah, boy.
I'm really excited for that, too. So there's just so much, like, other stuff going on. And that's, like I said, that has nothing to do with, like, the place Destiny is in right now. I just am hooked on so many other things.
I feel that so much because I feel like Destiny's Crucible is the most fun it's been ever for me right now. Like the state of Destiny 2 is in the Crucible is in the best state it has ever been to me. Like, yeah, sure, there are improvements to be made still and all that, but it's so much fun right now, other than the player base being low, which does create some difficulties in quick play when you're getting smashed by 6 people. Or
now, is it as bad as some of the droughts in D1?
Drought? No, I'm saying it's good. What do you mean drought?
No, he's saying he's had this at this.
Yeah, you were saying the player base is really low.
The player base. I have just heard it's really bad, and I hear in comp, once you get past like 4,000, you'll be sitting there for 30 minutes.
I get, but I'm just saying as far as like player population versus some of the really low times in D1, do you think it's that bad? Or is it just...
I'm literally into friends more in random lobbies.
Yeah, there's still people playing.
Well, no, I'm just saying like when I solo queue, it seems like the past couple weeks, like at least once a day, I randomly run into someone on my friends list. Yeah. So I don't know if that's any indication, but
do you think that's more an indication of that they're all the talk we've had about who they're kind of gearing the game towards now is people that are more like all our friends are people that played Destiny a lot at the beginning and fell away when it became a little bit more casualized for lack of a better term. Do you know what I mean? Like
I just think it has to do with the state of gaming, like you said. Like there's just so much going on right now. There hasn't been a fresh update for Destiny, and there's about to be, around the corner, but
I wasn't even talking about the population. I was just talking about who, like Wilson said, he's running into people he knows, which I think to me, to a point at least, speaks to who is playing the game as opposed to how many people are playing the game. Do you know what I mean?
True. I just feel like during those like big content drops, like when your friends list is like packed, like I rarely run into a friend in the same Crucible lobby. But like I feel like if you're playing PvP right now, for the most part, like if you're just a PvP player, like you're pretty happy. Like there's some new flavor out there, some new updates to weapons and things like that. But if you're playing PvE, unless you're like a hardcore raider, like chasing for that like 1K voices or chasing for that Dreadkin or Cursebreaker title, like there's really not much else to do as far as PvE.
Well, not that this is something to do, but I think it was last week, and we're apparently a bad podcast. You remember, Lego, when you said something about, did any of us go see the Queen or anything? and none of us had.
Which I did after the podcast.
Have you? Yeah. So you know
yes.
what was said, because that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So you're talking about when
your last visit to her, like she's gone.
Yeah, we can talk about it here. I think Wilson, have you heard any of it yet?
I got the general gist of it. Like basically, like the queen's gone. She like stepped down. Basically,
she disappears. She vaporizes the way they teleport. You've seen somebody do it before. I can't remember who.
Well, that's not even the important part of you. Do you remember what like was said? Like what she alluded to?
The specific.
So she said, basically, for paraphrase, because I don't remember the exact quote, but that the light and the dark needs to be a balance. If the darkness grows too strong, the light must push it back. But if the light grows too strong, the darkness must extinguish it.
Yes.
And then she says that she had a dream about the future, which, if you go back in the lore, there's another time she did that, and it came true.
Yes.
And she said, in the future, I will meet a friend who will say to me, you must pick a side, even if it's the wrong side, between the light and the dark. Do you remember who that was that said that?
Who said that? I'm trying to think.
The stranger.
John Wilson, you got it.
Oh, the Exo?
The Exo stranger.
Exo stranger.
Whenever she called in when she was like, hey, I'm coming back, blah, 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 and Ghost said, well, we need to go talk to the Awoken. She said, oh, those people that waver between the light and the dark. Someone once told me that you must always choose a side, even if it's the wrong side. And so the Queen says in the future she's going to meet someone, a friend, who's going to tell her that. And then she says, I'm leaving you to, do whatever, blah, blah, blah. So it's very ambiguous as to, like, she said, I'm going to choose a side now. And she leaves it very ambiguous as to which side she's choosing.
Well, she's gone from sexy Queen of the Awoken to crazy ex-girlfriend who wants you to stop by all the time and open a chest and stuff. I'm not a fan anymore of the Queen. She kind of creeps me out. I don't like the way that she talked to my ghost.
To be fair, he started it.
I don't give a shit. It's my ghost, all right? I've done things, all right? We've done
your
things.
ghost?
All of us have done things in the universe. We command respect.
I mean, she saved our ass twice.
I'm gonna roll up in there like a level 20 paladin and
right,
respect.
But
yeah, I feel like it should be kind of a mutual thing at this point. Maybe not her in the Vanguard, but at least with us.
I'm not some random dude at a fucking gas station hollering asking for a phone number. We've done things that have changed the fate of the galaxy together. Everyone, I think it's time when we say something or we send a text like, yo, what's up with this? And we don't get a response back, like, be a little pissed too.
Oh, there was some other lore stuff that I wanted to jump into too that we didn't talk about because last
disclaimer, we're really bad with lore.
Well, it's not that, it's just I guess that is it. But a few things with that. One more thing about the throne room when you go visit her this last time, because I did it right after the podcast. I just didn't have time beforehand. And you see one of the little triangle ships sitting on the thing like you did that third time you went in and you saw them. And so it's kind of like hinting like she's leaving, and she gives that line about the darkness pushing back the light, extinguishing it. And it kind of hints at with the visual that the triangle ships are coming to extinguish the light.
3D Doritos are coming back.
Yeah, exactly.
Haven't seen them since the 90s.
So I just wanted to point that out there for those who hadn't, seen it. But also, lore-wise, too, I'm not going to dig into all of this because it's kind of complicated and I didn't completely understand it when I was reading it. But whenever you're going through the Last Word quest, as you do it, you unlock lore tabs in 2 different books at the same time. And I thought it was really interesting because one is the Book of Sorrows, and like it's quoting books of sorrow and having someone interpret them. And then the other one is quoting basically I'm trying to remember because it was like 2 stories playing out at the same time, and one was about
Last Word.
Yeah, and one was about the light and one was about the dark. And I thought it was really interesting the contrast between the two as you're learning about Shin Malphur and and Dreadgnor and everything. Like just the process of going through all that. And also lore wise, you know, Bife came out with that huge video that kind of broke down the entire lore between them and made it easier to understand in like one comprehensive thing. And so many people in the Destiny community were involved in that. So that was
good. It was good. I still like the Ghosts and Echoes version that they did like 4 years ago. But that one was a really good one. But the artwork to go along with it, and I felt like the person who did I think it was Moon did was it Shin's Ghost?
Yeah, the Ghost.
She did a phenomenal job. Like there was some good emotion behind those lines. I thought that was the voice actress that stood out the most to me. If you haven't listened to the story of Thorn and Last Word, it's probably one of the best stories in the lore of Destiny 1 and 2. Phenomenal tale of two paths that are intertwined, basically. It's really good.
I actually had a question on that, Wilson. I thought you might know the answer out of all of us. With whenever we found out we were getting the Last Word, there was like a trailer thing that came out that never actually happened in the quest to get the Last Word. And it was that you see like a guardian walking up and there's like a blackened rock like in front of you.
That's in the Shattered Throne, or I think 1 week, or the not Shattered Throne. What's the thing you do where you got to take the tincture and jump in once a week and it rotates?
The Ascendant Challenge.
Yes, it's in one of the Ascendant challenges, and I believe it's supposed to be Shin Malfur that gunned down a guardian that was,
I forget his name.
Was a Dreadgin.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's his like shadow, like.
Yeah, well, it's like a nuke.
Golden like gun, an
your
imprint.
shadow gets burnt on the fucking wall. Like, sorry to go be that dark about it, but yeah, that's basically what it is. Like, you get your imprint gets scorched on the wall, but it's basically kind of implying that like he's still out there and he's still like hunting people of darkness, because I think they released a new grimoire card at the end of it where his ghost is like, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? And he's like, like, I don't know. And she's like, there's people out there like taking his name. And she's like, what are you gonna do? And he's like, what needs to be done, or something like that. So,
he's for sure out there, because in the new ones you get for the Last Word, it's like half of them is Shin talking to you about giving you the Last Word. And
I just mean like he's closer than like, I mean, he's not this guy off handling business that is irrelevant. Like now he's clearly in the system and he's in the know, and it's pretty
he's
wild.
Closely watching you, like in your actions, and he's basically like, hey, if you lean the wrong way, like I'll destroy you, you know.
I'd like to see him fucking try, to be honest.
All that time you spent grinding for that Dreadgin title, he's probably on his watch list now, just saying.
See, I didn't grind for the Dreadgin title for this very reason. I'm not going to be in that line of fire.
Listen, did he kill any gods lately? No.
I mean,
the answer is no.
No. He didn't, but he did do some pretty cool shit.
A couple.
He wasn't born of light, but somehow casted a golden gun. That's pretty dope.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing, is he's the only, or at least the one guardian hunter we know of that like the ghost chose him like while he was still living.
Yeah, once God, why can I not think
Jared Ward,
thank you. Once he got killed by Dredgen, however you want to pronounce it. I know some people are probably triggered, but basically he allowed the ghost to leave and give Shin Malfur the Last Word and grow up, and like I said, it all went full circle, and it's a very fascinating story, man. Like it's so good, good.
And if you're confused as to what we're talking about, like be sure to go, like Wilson said, the Ghosts and Echoes podcast, or the Bife's video that he did. They're both like really great and give you like some the visuals of Bife's video really help, like kind of you get a grasp on, okay, these are these characters, so that helps.
Here's a question, totally like meaningless, but kind of interesting. So I believe, I haven't paid attention lately, but I believe the like model for when you use Golden Gun is still like the Last Word, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you think that's like a nod to that, or do you think that's just by chance that they were like, hey, this looks like a big gun, like let's just reuse this asset for Golden Gun? Or do you think it's kind of a nod to the fact that like, Shin Malfur not Born of the Light, but cast a golden gun, use the last word. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you think that's a nod to that?
That maybe
not
possibly.
even in lore. I'm just talking game wise.
It kind of sucks because we don't get a chance to see it, but like the most infamous gunslinger that I can think of was Anna Bray. That mission where we had to go get, it wasn't Touch of Malice. I think it was the exotic, was it the No Time to Explain or whatever the hell that thing was, that pulse rifle that we got an exotic version of. And you had to go to that PvP map and your vision would start going black and you got to find those little pools of light. Those pools of light were where she cast Golden Gun, like a golden gun so powerful that it just left pure light and energy there. You know what I mean? Like it. So like what I think is that all of the previews of Golden Gun and stuff before the game came out, it was all really flashy, like, and that gun just happened to fit in with the whole aesthetic of like spinning your weapon and like fan firing and stuff like that. And I think it just happened to be a coincidence, but it'd be cool. It'd be cool. It's a good theory.
Like I said, it's not, that wouldn't even if it was a nod to it, it wouldn't be lore related. It's not like every time you use Golden Gun, you get the last word. Yeah. But it's just being the guy who, you know, was famous for using it also was this one who was able to use a golden gun without being Born of the Light. Do you know what I mean? Like it was being just a connection. I just thought that was kind of cool looking.
Yeah. Well, we got some new stuff coming out soon. Before I get to the TWAB, they released the Crimson Days stuff.
Nice.
So Crimson Days, they're coming out with some, they're kind of, it reminds me of the way they did not the Christmas event, but the Halloween event.
Festival of the Lost.
Festival of the Lost. Yeah.
Were you gonna say I'm lost?
Festival of the Sauced. That's what it was.
So they, you know how they had the horror story auto rifle you could go for. So now they've got the Val bow that you can get, which someone on Reddit posted, you know, they missed a great opportunity here to do love story, like horror story, but so they got the Val bow, which is like a weapon that you can get from Crimson Days, and then there's like a Wardcliff ornament and like and then a bunch of stuff from year one you can get again.
Did they show a picture of the bow?
It's on BNet.
Better be like a Cupid bow. That would be hilarious.
I was gonna say if it's not a Cupid bow, then they missed.
If it shoots hearts, like heart
there's
arrows,
there's an emote that's a little Cupid bow that they are adding. But cute. little factoid here. The guy that I was playing in a band with right before this, he went on American Idol like several years ago and sang the song Cupid, and he ended up going to Hollywood on that. So that's just
damn.
A little
what
factoid.
Kind of music did you guys play? Electropop?
No, we didn't play any of the music that he did on that show. It's just like it's a thing that we would throw him in the grease on anytime we'd go out to eat somewhere. Like the waitress would come by and be like, "Hey, do you know he was on American Idol?" And they'd be like, "Wait,
I had a buddy who was on The Price is Right. That was pretty cool. Like a really good friend that I used to like party with and go to festivals and stuff like that." And Mike Schlink, he is a legend. He is literally one of those people, and we all know one that's like, I want to do this, and you're like, whoa, that's way out of left field, but like, yeah, man, you know, good luck. And then they go and do it, and he's like, I'm gonna be on The Price is Right. Like, you could show up, but you're not guaranteed to be on the show. You know what I mean? So the fact that he got called down, like, there's just people out there that just be like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and
they just do it.
It's hilarious.
I knew this is good. This sounds so like you're gonna think I'm making up, but I knew a stripper once. Who told me she was
lost me there? Don't believe that.
She was gonna be. She wanted to be the president.
That's, you know what? Anything's possible now.
No, I'm saying that's like you were talking about when you're like, really?
Anything's possible.
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
Also, my roommate.
There's a joke in there that I'm just gonna pass it up.
I know. I'm trying to avoid it.
My roommate in college was what was that show? So You Think You Can Dance?
Yes.
He made it to like, if he would have passed, like gotten chosen on the one he got cut, he would have made like the live shows.
Oh damn! Dang.
And then he was in terrible song. Would you remember the song Icebox by Omarion? I think. Oh, he was one of the backup dancers.
Nice. Well, there is a bow, Cupid bow ornament thing you get, and there is an actual bow that they were showing off that you can get like a weapon. And they've kind of reworked it to work more like how, you know, the Dawning kind of worked, where you had bounties that you go and complete, and then you get basically extra gifts from for that it was Eva Levante, but now it's going to be Shaq's that you get stuff from. And
seems kind of odd,
which is really funny. So there was also another meme that I can't remember if it's Reddit or Twitter, but Shaq's has some line on the, I'm gonna have to pull it up because I'm not gonna remember, but at the beginning of the Crimson Days thing, it's Shaq. They have a quote from Shaq's on it, and here it is right here. He says, "Do you hear that? Love beckons, and when love beckons, who among us can say no?" And on the comment underneath it, it was like Marasov, and it was like the meme, the gif of the guy doing the peace sign and disappearing.
Marasov got it on, like straight up. That is in the lore. Did you know about that, Hope?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's awesome.
The helmet stayed on.
Yes, I totally just did like a Chris Farley reference there in Billy Madison. He and her got it on.
He did the arm movements and everything.
No, they didn't. But, yeah, I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool. He's my hero, but like, maybe she could go be a crazy ex-girlfriend to him instead of us. Instead of being crazy to us. Just
yeah,
saying.
Maybe so. The point of the
Shaq's
packages,
cool
though, from Shaq's, though, I just wanted to bring up that you can, by completing these bounties and stuff, you have a chance at getting mods and enhancement cores and like actually valuable stuff that we don't have very much of right now. So that would be cool to be able to get those things other than just like the weapon and maybe ornaments or other stuff you don't really care about. If you're needing enhancement cores and stuff like that, it'll be a good opportunity to get those things through
doubles. It's a checklist thing like before.
Instead, I kind of like the way this is done better, actually. They have like a list of things you can buy with whenever you play doubles or complete these bounties, you get these things called
like a voucher, basically.
Yeah, it's like a voucher. It's called
like a meal voucher.
It's like a layaway voucher.
Now I can't find it, of course. Confectionery hearts is what you
layaway.
get.
It's awesome. I like it.
So you get 7 for a win in doubles and 5 for a loss. You get some no matter what. And with those, you can buy, like, if you want this ghost shell, it's 25. If you want this exotic sparrow, it's 50. Or if you want that bow, it's 100. And for those packages that give you extra mods and stuff, it's only 15. So yeah, you can just buy what you want instead of waiting to see if you get it.
So I'll be buying whatever gives me the most bright dust. Once I get everything, because last year, dude, I made like 20 grand in bright dust just from this event because it was a checklist, and then kept giving me like the sparrow over and over and over, like every time I'd turn one in, and it was just a crap ton of bright dust. Papa Bear Mars was my doubles partner last year. However,
he's on PC.
I'm pretty sure he has moved on to PC in the wonderful land of frames. Son of a bitch. I'm just,
I don't want to talk
about
that. That was a dark time in my life.
Well,
looking for a Valentine.
Sitting right here.
Yo, it was funny. It was funny. Then I finished up like the last week with my buddy Will, and Will put, "Wilson's such an awesome doubles partner, blah blah blah." And Papa Bear Mars posted this GIF of this person just like sipping coffee, giving like a shitty stare, like because he had some shit to do that week, so he was all super salty. That's awesome. I miss you, Papa Bear. He's a good guy, man. Good guy.
I know he's been playing some Apex Legends too. He was like, "Oh, are you playing on PC?" I was like,
maybe I'll have to, because I downloaded it on PC as well. Which you should join us.
Crossplay
Saturday evening, Hove.
Actually,
me and Briar are supposed to play on PC.
Yes, I will download it and play with you and Briar.
Yes.
Also, Briar's supposed to come play Sea of Thieves with us, which is also... Oh, I've also been playing Sea of Thieves at night, which is a ton of fun with friends.
Sea of Thieves.
I will absolutely recommend that to anyone who would like to play with friends, and it's just absolute fuckery. But I will tell you, there's almost zero chance that you will enjoy or even be able to functionally play that game by yourself. Seriously. But it's so much fun with like 3 or 4 people. So much fun. I threw up all over Dewey.
You could just drink the whole time. Lego, you could just drink, and after you start drinking, like shit, your character starts like walking in curvy lines, and then like they just start throwing up. Pro tip: if somebody throws up on you, hold your bucket out, and you can catch it and throw it back in their face.
Or if you're holding your own bucket, it just all goes in your bucket, and you can throw it on.
Maybe that's what it was. But yeah,
I think both.
I used to throw puke on people.
Yeah,
in a
and
bucket.
did you know how you can play the instruments?
Yes.
If you are
the
drunk,
accordion.
there's an accordion, there's drums, and there's something else. And if you're playing the instruments, at least there is now, maybe not when you played, I don't know. But if you're playing an instrument while you're drunk, the music is all fucking
like
off-key and shitty.
No, it never. No, that's amazing.
It's great.
What's crazy is when you start to play like all the instruments, like they at least they did at the beginning, like no matter what time you started playing them, like, they would almost like find a rhythm.
do, yeah.
It was really cool. It's a fun game.
That's interesting.
We killed.
Being a pirate, getting drunk, stealing shit.
We're undefeated against other people. The one night we
completely drunk.
We shit on we shit on some little kids who thought they were badass.
Jesus Christ.
And then the next day we
shit the shit out of some kids.
We shit on some teenagers who thought they were badass. So, yeah.
Why don't you pick on some middle-aged men? Make it a fair fight.
Can't find any.
I'm just kidding. I can't find. That's why I'm trying to get you guys to play. The first encounter me, Briar, Gary, and Beasley got into, we wrecked this ship, like rammed them. No one communicated who was going to stay on the ship, and we all jumped off our ship onto them, shot them, hit them with swords.
And then realized your ship was gone.
We were all celebrating. I was like, wait a minute, no one's on our boat. And we just see our boat sailing away. Meanwhile, this one's so riddled with fucking holes, it's sinking. It was a gag. It was good stuff.
Yeah, it's really fun. Awesome. It really
Great
is.
Game. No.
Well, that's pretty much it for Crimson Days. There is a TWAB this week that has one very important thing on it, which Wilson and Papa Bear, who's on PC, will very much appreciate.
Well, then there's two important things.
I actually saw, there's multiple, but one for PC players in particular. It's just funny I mentioned Papa Bear because I just saw him tweet out a second ago, like, finally, no more. Titan skating macros are not going to be a thing anymore. You can still like hit the button as fast as you want, and it'll still, there's like a point at which you will go faster in Titan skate, but it won't be like it was before where you're just like defying the physics of the game, you know? So everyone has been asking for this. I don't know. I think I've seen like one to three of like some of the top players out there saying, don't take it away or no, it's fine. But I think even them think like, yeah, you could just tone it down, and that's basically what they're doing. So I don't know. What do y'all think about this? Are y'all hallelujah?
It needed done. I mean, it
needed done. It was disgusting. You could Titan skate so fast that you could hit a wall and kill yourself.
Yeah,
Dumb.
It was ridiculous.
That's stupid. You could go faster than a sparrow. Like, it just broke so much shit in the game. Now if they could just fix One-Eyed Mask, Titans would be back on my not so shit list. But right now, they're right up there. It's about as bad as Guardians as Dread Gnor. They're the worst. Titans. And it's no coincidence that he was a Titan. Just saying.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about that.
Well, wasn't he a Titan and then he wasn't Dread Gnor actually?
He wore a cape because he liked to do the whole twirl with the cape. That's it.
Yeah.
Saladin wore a cape. Can I wear a cape on my Titan? What the fuck?
You can wear a cape in real life if you want.
No, I can't. Like, as much as
I'll buy you a cape.
Listen, I say this all the time. I would love to wear a fucking big, awesome, like Jon Snow cloak during the wintertime, but people look at you like you're a fucking weirdo. And people we'd like to say that this is America and you can do whatever the fuck you want. Sure, but people are still gonna think you're fucking weird.
There's still consequences.
But you're allowed to do that because it's America. If I buy you a cape, will you wear it on the podcast?
Yes. If I get to preview it first.
As
long as it's not a bib that's supposed to be backwards.
No.
As long as it's not like just like a ring pop on the back of it. Would that be okay?
Ooh.
Ring pops are scrumdiddlyumptious.
Like just like a vectorized symbol of one. A giant ring pop.
They are fire.
Dude, ring pops were bomb.
They are really good.
They probably still are, but I haven't had one.
I ate a whole pack of Airheads today too, man. Those are pretty fire as well.
I don't. Maybe I ate too many Airheads as a kid or something because I just can't do it anymore.
Come the fuck on. What were you, a Smarty guy? Ugh, you got some
Smarties are dumb. Do you remember Razzles?
Right. They're okay.
Razzle Dazzles, baby.
Do you remember Razzles?
Rock Pops.
They were like, you thought they were they chewed like they were a soft candy, and then all of a sudden they became gum.
Tater says I need to dress up like Ric Flair. Do the woo. Well, what did he say? To be the
Two
man,
claps.
you gotta beat the man, or to beat the man,
Oh.
you gotta be the man. It was one way or the other.
Something like
Tater will
that.
know.
Tater will know.
Tater will know. The Nature Boy. Hell yeah, is in the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Is there any other Ric Flair that's not the Nature Boy?
Probably somewhere, yeah, actually.
Yeah, what is that? Rule 24 or whatever that is. Or
So,
if you could think it exists.
Titan skating's no more. We're all pretty okay with that, I think. I can't. It's so funny to have something that isn't even on the game on console that is a thing on PC. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't feel like there's any other thing I can think of other than aim assist being on console, which is just like a general thing that would feel awful without.
Yeah,
That's everybody kind of accepts that.
Are we?
Go
ahead.
What?
Nothing.
Are you itching to talk about the new books that are coming out?
No, I was asking if we're done talking about Destiny yet, because Apex Legends.
Talk about Apex Legends.
No, but you are excited about this, so because you got both of you, I think, actually got the anthology. Maybe not. Wilson,
Marcus got
it was
it.
sold out when I went to get
Marcus
it.
got it.
Do you want
Yeah.
mine?
Hope said he
borrow
won't give it to me because I don't use things he gives
I'll
me.
borrow it, yeah, and I'll send it back to you when you're done.
Yeah, you can send it to Lego. He'll
When
keep
I'm
it for
done.
6 years.
That's weird. I'll send your book back to you when you're done with it, when it's in my possession. That's not how that works.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
But yeah, new Grimoire book is coming out, Volume 2. The first one was a hit. Everybody loved it. And they are also now coming out with a comic collection, Volume 1.
And the anthology is not yet available, but if you click on the link in the TWAB, it'll take you right to where you can sign up for an email notice when it becomes available, and I highly recommend it. I doubt you'll have needed to read the first one because they were 3 like self-contained stories put together, but I still would recommend get both of them. I mean, it's fantastic.
Hey, the first one or the second one that's coming out, do we know like what it's about, like
Not
what
that I know
lore
of.
it's going to cover or anything?
I think this is, as far as I know, this is the first announcement that there was going to be a second one. Like, we kind of assumed because it was awesome, but I don't think we knew.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, I agree.
But the first one was great. It was the Book of Sorrows, the story of the Last Word, and Thorn, and the third one, I forget what the third story was. I don't know, but it was good.
I hope they do all of them, man, because there's some really cool lore in there. Like, what the hell was the name of that machine gun? Super Good Advice?
Yeah.
D1. It was like a machine gun frame that would talk to you. Like, that's pretty cool. Like, it was a gun that would talk to you, you know? Like, there's some really cool lore there. Like, bring that gun back. That gun was dope towards the end of Destiny. You could just light shit up and get all your bullets.
Do you know what I want back? What was that fusion rifle? Yeah, well, yeah.
Hawkman,
what was that fusion rifle? I mean, it wasn't even like that good, but what was that fusion rifle that was like Hy-Vee that you got for completing something?
Oh, I thought about that gun the other day. You could swap
from arc.
You could
faster firing.
I can look at dim.
Faster firing arc or the longer charging more.
I'm looking at D1
because they advertised it when the Dark Below was coming out. They were like, and you get this fusion rifle.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
I know.
It's not the only thing on it.
Solar Arc is called. Someone's yelling at us through iTunes right now, just like through their podcast app on their phone, like, "Come on, it's this. That's what it is."
No, it's gonna be Gorniak in a second in chat.
Oh,
Murmur.
Yeah, he'll know it.
Boom.
Murmur. Son of a bitch, man.
That's right.
That's it. The Murmur.
Murmur.
I liked using it. That was cool.
It was I think one was better than the other. I think Arc was better than Solar, like because like the stats changed on it.
Well, it basically changed like archetypes. You had the faster firing, lower range, lower damage Arc, I believe.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And then Solar was like, you know, Legos.
Maybe Solar was better.
Yeah,
one of the two was better.
I'd say Solar probably for the way most people use fusion rifles.
Dude. I just hope we get some of these old, like, Patience in Time would be a cool thing to bring back.
Yeah, that was great.
I mean, obviously, Hawkmoon. I know they don't like Luck in the Chamber or whatever, but somebody was saying, oh, I'm going to feel like an asshole. Somebody made a really good post on Twitter saying, what if you take away Luck in the Chamber and whatever the other one was, like Ace something, and the 2 luck perks.
Yeah.
And just make it have 100% accuracy in the air.
That'd be cool.
Be cool, but I don't know.
Well, what I saw was them saying bonus damage in the air. Somebody on Twitter.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Bonus damage in the air. That'd be cool.
That'd be
so
cool.
if your shots do,
I don't think that'd be good enough for an exotic because it would only be really that useful for hunters.
I understand why they don't.
Or Titans with the legs that let you hip fire in the air and stay up in the air. That would be useful. Or warlocks that you can stay up in the air and shoot. So every class, Hove.
You just got to shoot on your way down. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, never shoot on the upwards thrust of your jump. Like, always do it at, like, the apex. What do they call that? Where you start to curve down?
When I'm thrusting, I don't have much control over when I'm going to shoot. All right?
Yeah, fair enough.
It just happens.
He's telling the truth. I've seen it.
We talked about
thrusting
Hove being we talked about Hove being Long John Silver on the ship getting drunk and everything.
Oh, okay.
And
I had Long John Silver for lunch yesterday.
We talked about all the Titans, Charlton Hestoning around skating.
What the fuck does that mean? Can you explain what Charlton Hestoning is?
And then now, I think we're done with Destiny talk, and Wilson just mentioned Apex, so it's like the perfect time to talk about this game.
I didn't even mean to do that. Lego picked up on it. He's so.
So I knew it's like everyone's prodding me, like, hey, we want to talk about.
I legit didn't even mean to do that. Isn't that literally called the apex of your jump, where it starts?
Yes, no, it is. But real quick, before we even get into this talk, because we're gonna talk about it for a second. We've never been a podcast that really we talk about Destiny, of course, is our main thing, but we'll jump into talking about Marvel for 20 minutes.
Strippers.
And so, which actually a new trailer came out. But wait, before we get there.
They're showing trailers of those now? Holy shit.
Okay. So anyway, what my point is that this is a huge thing that's happening in the gaming community right now. This game was just released. People are it's top of Twitch, twice as many viewers as Fortnite right now. Who knows what the future will bring? I'm sure we'll have some thoughts about it, but I wanted to ask y'all's opinion as the listener, not just in chat, but listening. If you're on a drive right now, listening on the podcast app, or YouTube, if you want to tweet at us at REZOcast, I want to know what you think about Respawn's new game, Apex Legends, because I think we're all really digging it. Everyone in our community's really digging it.
I hate it.
Real quick, before we start, I have something I need to say real quick before Matt Grundy. That way we've mentioned him in this podcast.
Yeah, he is in chat, so.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so add us on Twitter at REZOcast. I want to know what you guys think about it, or even if you are not playing it and you don't care about it at all, I still want to hear that. Just be like, hey, I was listening to the podcast and you guys were talking about it. I'm just gonna zone out when y'all talk about that. I'd just be curious who those people are, because normally when I listen to a podcast about Destiny and they start talking about Overwatch, I'm kind of like, I'll listen for a second, but if it goes on for a while, then I'm kind of out. So I'm curious if any of y'all feel that way if we start talking a little bit at Apex, because I'm playing it so much right now. Oh my gosh.
You are. You're level 2,000.
I'm level 20 or something.
Close enough.
I hate
but I got over 100 kills already, so I'm feeling good.
I know you're feeling.
It's only been out 2 days.
What's everyone's favorite to play? I know we know this, but our listeners might not. Is that in the class? Is that when you got to pay for it, or in the credits for it?
I begrudgingly downloaded it. I didn't want to play it.
Same.
Because to me, in a way, it does have a very Call of Duty feel with the movement and everything. And I didn't care for Blackout. I thought it was really cool. It had some cool ideas, but I didn't. It didn't grab me at all.
Mm-hmm. Me neither. I tried it too.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, this is fun. And I said outwardly and thought to myself, oh, I like this. And I never played it again. I had no urge to ever go play it again. But this, I played last night specifically because PUBG was in maintenance. We tried to do some. Sea of Thieves had a 40-some gig update that Dewey could. It was pretty much with Destiny, you have to re-download the whole fucking thing. So we were like, all right. Dewey was like, well, you can go download Apex Legends, and I was like, I did already. So we jumped on that, and I played it till 2:30 in the morning. I had to be up so early for a hearing this morning, at work, and I played till like 2:30, and then I immediately came home and I played till like 10 minutes before the podcast. So if anybody who listens to this, usually likes to get the tweets that say like, "Hey, this week we're going to talk about this. Join us on Thursday." I didn't do that because I was busy running around playing Apex Legends. Sorry, Lego. I think it's great. It's just so much fun. Like there's a lot of things. I'll let you guys tell your opinions, but then there's a couple things that really stood out to me for why I enjoy it so much.
Yeah, same. Well, I guess I'll talk about it for a second. One, I just want to congratulate Respawn on 10. What was it?
10 million players in the first 72 hours.
72 hours, yeah. Because after 24 hours, it was 1 million. And then 72 hours, 10 million people.
That's
and there was
crazy.
no pre-advertisement.
Yeah, was it just me, or was it like, hey, this is releasing tomorrow, cool, and everyone was like, what?
There was a tease. There was a leak.
I didn't even know until it was out.
There was a leak, like, a day or two before that people started finding out about it and kind of like rumored like, hey, Titanfall people Battle Royale, but no one knew anything for sure, you know. And then it got released like
for all future game developers or indie game developers more specifically, that's how you drop a fucking game. All right, not 2 years at E3 before it comes out. You just drop the fucking game.
Well,
they did. They dropped it like it was hot too, because I didn't even know until it was available to download. I didn't even
polished. Drop it polished too. Like this game is smooth, and it has bugs. I'm not gonna say things don't happen. Like we had just
the matchmaking has some issues.
Matchmaking can be funny, or your game
player population related as well.
Yeah, just it exploding. But my game froze several times where I had to like completely exit out, and there was no rejoin game or anything like that.
So that happened to Wilson earlier too, before you joined.
That happened to me. Yeah, but but my PlayStation completely froze.
Yeah,
I couldn't even hit the power button on it. I had to unplug it.
So if that happens again, if you give it a few seconds, eventually it'll.
He gave it like 2 or 3 minutes.
I gave it. You have to give it quite a while, like maybe even up to 3 minutes.
Well, no, remember, it just killed me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh.
And it was weird. It didn't even show him as like his banner was available.
IRL, it killed him.
It showed him as like an enemy loot box that I was able to loot.
Oh, weird. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned
I do want to say quickly, real quick,
yeah.
To be fair with the drop of it and everything, and this is not to take anything away, but to be fair, keep in mind this wasn't a fresh game. A lot of the assets from it and everything were taken from Titanfall 2.
Well, that's something that I kind of wanted to hit on for a second, because I come from my background in gaming. Like a big part of it comes from the original Call of Duty, and then Infinity Ward, which originally was these guys who made Titanfall, who made Respawn, split and made Respawn. And I've been following them since that split, and I was so excited for Titanfall and thought it was going to be my jam, and then it came out for Xbox only originally, remember? And I was like, wait, you know, and then when Titanfall 2 came out, finally, don't get me wrong, the campaign's amazing. One of the best campaigns, action shooter campaigns I've ever played, if not the best first-person shooter campaign I've ever played.
Right.
But then the multiplayer just didn't bring me in as much, but it's like they refined everything from that game and brought it into a battle royale, and then they asked the questions for like, what are the most annoying things about a battle royale and how can we make it better? And they did that in like every way, which I'm sure we'll get into.
Floss dance, most annoying thing about a BR, not in the game. Anywhere.
Not in the game. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
If there's a floss dance, I'm fucking out.
There's and the number one thing that stands out about it, like there's several things, but like one of the number one things is the way you respawn people. If they're completely out, you can grab their card and still bring them back. So if you're just waiting, you don't sit there forever or leave the game because you're just like, this is boring. I don't want to watch my friends loot for 10 minutes.
And that's one of the reasons we avoid hot drops in PUBG, is because even if you win if you go there with 4 teams, you may come out the winner, but chances are one of your teammates is going to die.
One of the homies is chilling, watching.
And then they rage quit, and everybody's mad.
And you don't do that in this game, which is awesome.
No, it's great. When a guy goes down, you run and go to... It becomes a whole new mission of we need to go to one of the limited... You could one-time use respawn areas. And not just one-time use for you, but what I learned for everyone on the map.
Yeah.
And that's what won us that game, was that when we went and got you up, like
next to last zone,
yeah, it was the last like revive station on the map, and it's just a very cool feature. I think that eliminated probably the biggest problem with a BR with your friends, was that downtime of if you drop in the first town, stuff like that. It's definitely got a Call of Duty Titanfall, and then there's like crates that you can open up. They almost look like big propane tanks. It's got like a Borderlands vibe with all the weapons sitting out, like the way that it kind of opens up, and you're not just the same person as everyone else, so there's different characters. So immediately this is setting it apart from any BR, first person BR that I've played.
Well, other than someone brought up Realm
and nobody gives a shit about that. But anyway,
yeah, that game fell off
kidding.
really fast.
I'm kidding.
It looked like it was gonna be the next.
If you
big
like
one.
that game, I apologize. It's just in jest here. All right, but it's really cool. So you got a healer. You've got like a dude with a crow that like basically can detect like technology, so it can kind of ping. It's kind of like the hunter when you kill someone when you're crouched, you can kind of see people through walls, sort of things. But it's not
Destiny,
it's not as detailed. It's very very transparent, so you really got to be paying attention for it. And then there's the best class, which is the Pathfinder, 100%.
He's like a skinny Bastion.
You're just he is an actual character from Titanfall. He's like one of the random like robots in like one of the strongholds or something like that, or like an NPC. No, he's great. It's like Indiana Jones. You're just flying through everything like all over.
How's
the
that
place.
like Indiana Jones?
Look, because he gets around.
Oh, okay.
Not like that. I just mean like from A to B.
Yeah. I mean, so does Superman.
Yeah, but that's like superheroes and shit. But anyway, Batman's all right.
Batman.
But he shoots the things with the toys and the zip lines. Okay, yeah, it's like fucking Batman.
Kind of is, actually. I was trying to be a smartass, but yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah, that's actually fucking
Someone
Batman.
needs to make a Batman challenge with him and just get the little arc tri-blade things that explode, and you can only punch and throw those and zip line around, and that's it.
Listen, just stop in Choco Taco or Shroud's chat, because they can win a game with anything. Shroud won his first game. Not that that's surprising.
I got second in my first game.
That's good.
With like 4 kills.
Yeah.
And I got killed by a fucking airdrop and got super salty.
Hey,
but anyway,
we get landed on you?
Our first game all together.
Yeah, we did actually. Real talk.
Who had the most kills?
The Dream Team.
Who had the most damage?
Fine, dude.
By 2 points.
You could be Michael Jordan, he could be Scottie Pippen, and I'll be fucking Tony Kukoc. All right, there. We know you're the greatest, Hove. All right.
Oh, thanks.
That's bad. But what other classes are there? What's the one you play, Hove?
Oh, Wraith, dude. Wraith is so good.
What does Wraith do?
Bangahor?
Wraith lets you so you can put down portals as your ult. And so for every class, I don't know if we mentioned this, every class has 3 abilities, like a passive ability that is always active, and then you got your ult, which is like your super in Destiny, and then you've got a like grenade like ability that goes pretty fast. And for some people it's more passive than others, but for mine it's to go into the void, and basically it's you feel like you're invisible, but you're not. People can see you running. You just kind of look like a purple blur, I think, running by.
Like a streak. You're on streak.
Yeah, like a streak. But you're invulnerable to damage, so no one can hurt you while you're doing that. And the zone can't hurt you either, which is really useful for the end of the game. But so that is my favorite class. And the passive ability is that I have voices in my head that will tell me when somebody's aiming at me or if there's an enemy nearby or stuff like that. So it's really helpful to know, like, oh, a sniper's about to shoot me, you know?
I wish every now and then it would like you could like troll your teammate with it. Just every now and then, like I could aim at you and you're just like, someone's aiming at me, and I'm like, bro, I don't know where they're at, and just like aiming at you, like. But I could see how that could get pretty old and trolling. But
yeah, but
other play Hove.
There's a couple, but I've really kind of settled since the 3 of us were playing. We seem to do well together. It's called the Bangalore. Passive ability. I don't even remember what the passive ability is.
Come on, Hove. Offense and defense. We talked about this.
No. But I'm not talking about the L1 and the alt. The passive one that's just always
the passive
happening.
Ability.
I actually don't remember for her either. Oh, yeah, if you get shot at, you run faster.
That's right. Yeah, if you're taking fire, you run faster, which is, I mean, whatever.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Like primary ability, I don't know how they classify them, but we'll call them primary. Is like a smoke grenade that is instant. The second it hits something, it puts out a big cloud of smoke, which is really useful for like anytime someone's down or if you want to loot something, you just throw some smoke on it.
Smoke is dope.
And it was cool. Like we were on this aircraft and Wilson got knocked and he was like, I'm going to crawl off and fall down. There's no fall damage
in the game anywhere.
So he's like 100 feet below us and the guys are starting to like come after all of us. So I fucking jump off the ship and as I'm falling, I shoot the smoke right on him and just land in it with him and rezzed him and then we ran out. That was really cool.
If it would have been VR, I would have flinched like a straight up bitch. I would have been like, oh, because it was coming straight at me. It was good. It was
and
nice.
Then
good shot.
You're welcome. And then the ultimate ability, you kind of throw a grenade, but the grenade you throw it wherever you want to call in this airstrike, and an airstrike comes down and fucks some dudes up.
Which is similar to the big boy, big shieldy boy gets. I can't remember his name. He
guy.
gets you throw a grenade and it will call in a sort of like fiery airstrike or something like that.
And then they call it something similar, but you can see these are like bombs all over the ground. It's not really like an airstrike.
The bombs
Yours hurts
fall,
more,
and then they stop and give you a chance to almost kind of look around and be like, "We need to get the fuck out of here." And then
because they go everywhere.
They blow up. Then there's two other characters that you got to unlock, right?
Caustic and Mirage.
Mirage, yeah.
Which he makes
Decoy
like duplicate, decoys of himself, man. It's very cool, very tricky. You can do some really cool stuff.
I watched a video of Imtash running that, and it looked awesome. It looked very like my style. Like if I wasn't running, I want to run that guy because it's all about the mind game, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So the things though that really stick out to me, I think, besides the obvious, that we talked about with the being able to be respawned even if you die. Is kind of the looting system, because it's
right.
I think one of the things that made Fortnite so accessible is the fact that the guns and the gunplay were very, very simple, right? There weren't a ton of attachments, there weren't all this stuff. So that's what also made it very easy to play on console, because the technical aspects notwithstanding of the PUBG console version, one of the hardest things, to get down is the looting system on PUBG. And I think a lot of that comes from the fact that, say for grips, they work across most of the guns, but they're mostly preference. Do you want this angled grip that affects recoil this way? Do you want this vert grip that does this? So you're coming across all these things, and it becomes very clunky taking things off, putting it on. It's not as easy as drag and drop on PC. Well, they kind of give you a hybrid PUBG with all the attachments, but also the simplicity of Fortnite, in the sense that like every gun, even though some take stock, some take grips, whatever, there aren't different types. There's only different levels, similar to the loot in Destiny, white and then blue and then purple and then gold, and so you just find a stock, and it's blue, so you pick it up. Except if you already have a gun that will take it, it just automatically puts it directly on your gun. So then if you have a blue stock on there and you come across a white one, it'll still let you switch if you hold the button in, but it'll tell you already have a better stock and it won't pick it up. Whereas if it's a better one, it just automatically puts it on and drops your other one. So it made the looting system much, much easier. And even on top of that, which I asked this question of one of you guys when we were playing because I wasn't sure. They went even a step further. Say you have a gun that has a stock, a barrel, a grip, and a scope, and you drop that for another gun, any attachment on it that goes on your new gun will automatically go on your new gun. If it doesn't go on that gun, it will go directly in your inventory, and if your inventory is full, it'll drop.
Yeah,
super
so
good.
it really it gives you the customization abilities of PUBG, but the really, 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 really simple way of handling it with your limited buttons on console, which I thought was, I don't want to say it's ingenious because it's kind of like
It's intuitive.
Very, very, very intuitive.
Like,
I was impressed.
It's controller friendly.
Yeah.
It's incredibly intuitive, even down to and the thing that was most impressive to me was the looting thing, but that's something that you kind of notice as you're playing, especially if you played other ones. But the thing that like immediately stands out when you're playing, especially with no mic, because this is probably the best squad solo game the best game you could play in a squad without a mic like ever, because you can do everything like on console. I know on PC you can type and stuff, but even that probably is simplified because you can call out stuff and whatever you mark, it just automatically tells you what it is. Like level 2 chest over here, if you mark it, it just calls that out to your team.
And
or
puts
if you
a
mark
marker
an
on the
enemy,
map.
it says enemy, or go over here. You can say these very specific commands or automated commands depending on what you click on. And it just makes it so easy rather than PUBG where you're like, there on my marker, there's an attachment for this gun if you have an SMG, and then everyone's like, what's that marker for?
And it's actually it even goes beyond that. I don't know if you noticed, if say Wilson drops ammo and then I go pick it up, it'll give me a prompt to hit down on the D-pad, and my character will go, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, you can thank people, you can call out ammo, guns, and it whatever you put it on. Optic over here, and it's a scope, or like you said, level 2 chest piece, whatever.
The in-game character actually says, optic over here, and like things with tiered armor. It'll be like, level 2 armor over here, level 3, you know what I mean? Like, so you don't even have to, have a mic to be able to communicate very efficiently in this game. You can mark which way to go, or if you quickly if you actually put your marker over someone, it'll mark it red like it's an enemy. Or if you can't quite get a beat on them, you can just double tap real quick with R1, and then that'll mark it with a red.
And on top of, like, if you call out an area, like if you're flying, or it doesn't matter when. If Lego calls out an area and puts his marker there, his character will say, like, let's go over here. And if I then look at it and hit R1, my character will say, 10-4, Roger, something like that.
Or you can say no. You can be like, I'm not going over there.
And same thing with loot. If you hover over someone who called out loot and hit R, it says dibs, and you go like, oh, that's mine, and your character will call out. So it's very like, oh, someone called it, I'm not going to go over there. You could still be a dick and go do it. It doesn't like put it on their gun, but it's
it doesn't lock you out.
No, I still wouldn't want to play it with blueberries. That's not my thing.
I've won more games with blueberries probably than without. So probably like even right now. But like it's pretty good playing with blueberries with no mic. It feels pretty like they
at least gave you the ability.
Have no idea what they're doing, but it's more accessible than other games playing with blueberries.
Yeah, I think they crushed it, man. I am very impressed.
Absolutely.
Something else about the marking system that's really cool is that if you see a guy run through a door and you put your marker over the door and tag it, it actually highlights the door for everyone to see, so you can see what door to the building that they went to. Just little shit, dude. Little nuances like that, like making it easy to loot, like making it easy to communicate, like more than just 35 north or 65 east or whatever it is, like nobody wants to stop and look at their fucking compass and spin around 3 directions before they find where the battle's at. Like,
that's a good point, because I didn't realize until I had played probably a night or two, like a night and like a day and a half, until I watched a video of like Shroud or somebody playing, and they were like 320, that's where he is. And I was like, wait, there's a compass in this game?
Yeah.
I hadn't even like realized
genuine music.
I hadn't even realized that there was a compass, because it's so easy to just mark stuff. Like, let's go over here. There's the enemy. You don't have to call out the numbers as much. Yeah, it's still helpful if there's 2 locations people are coming from. But in general, it's much easier to just mark and like they're over there. That's it.
And it saved our ass plenty of times. That it's like you're learning the map and he's over by the boat and the barrel. Like, okay, we're in a fucking bay area right now. There's tons of fishermen boats and barrels everywhere. Like, cool to have that little red visualization that said, hey, we're here and this is how far away that is. Genius.
So to bring this all full circle, bear with me here. So, the thing that has really got me hooked with this is the first time since early PUBG that I felt this hooked to a game. And I said this way back when we started playing PUBG. if you lose, you're kind of like, oh man, like that was bad. Like we died so fast. Let's play another one. Let's try again. Then if you win, you're like, oh man, we're killing it. Let's play again. And you just like keep fucking playing. And it here's what I was saying, bear with me. This is the closest feeling I've gotten. I'm not saying the gameplay is similar or anything, but this is the closest feeling I've had to how early D1 Trials made me feel since early D1 Trials. And granted, I would also say, again, not that the gameplay is similar, but the gameplay of this, the actual controls and the gunplay is much closer to Destiny than like PUBG. You can run and slide and jump in the air and shoot and fall down on people. So
and you have a super, you have like
that's
a grenade.
The thing to be said too is that the gunplay feels really good. It doesn't feel like a piece of shit like some battle royales where you go into and try to shoot and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
like it feels good.
Like a lot of the things that I've learned in Destiny, I've already put to use naturally. Sliding into cover, jumping up over things, vertical space, shout out to TV, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, like it's similar to a Trials card in that it's this like time-wise half hour, 40 minutes for if you play a full game. Like to a
it's actually maybe 25 minutes
long.
Is the max.
Okay, well, okay,
yeah,
25 minutes.
What I was gonna say is how short the games are. Like it's high intensity. You're in, you're out, you're back in, and it's only 60 people.
60 people.
Yeah, 60. Yeah.
But it's just like it has that same feeling of elimination. Like you're progressing. Like even though it's not specific matches, like obviously that's not the same. But it's this like, okay, there's less teams. Like you're progressing through until you get to like the end. And it's just like, can we do it? Can we do it? Oh, we didn't. Let's start over. And like, do you know what I mean? I'm not comparing the gameplay, but just the feeling of it is as close to the like pressure with the actual reward at the end. There's pressure in comp, but if you lose, you just feel like shit, really, right?
I want to add on to that, too. Hove, you're talking about that feeling of Trials, and I was thinking about this because I was like, what is it that, like, has hooked me in this BR that others don't as much, where I can kind of set it down and be like, okay, and one of the things is the time length. It's not 45 minutes for a freaking PUBG match, like almost a full hour of your time. This is like half that. For a full game, a full win, and then you're like, oh, I could go again or do another hot drop or whatever.
To be fair, though, the map that does have the really short matches, you don't like in PUBG.
Normally, but this is just, I think it's the right amount of action with the right amount of time. But hear me out real quick with the Trials thing. So that you can't go solo, and you have to do teams of 3. I think this works really well for a lot of different reasons, map size and everything, but also given your characters having abilities and stuff like that and working together, that's another reason the team of 3 works. But also 3 is just that perfect Trials number where when your team goes down, you have the ability to clutch. If it were 4 people in this game, it would feel so difficult to clutch a moment. But we just had a game just before this where y'all both went down and there were 2 people left. And I was able to clutch it, and like
there was multiple times there was one of us left in a match. Like,
that one game where we killed
down, and someone came in, and I sprayed him with the. Picked up this little SMG, dude. That thing was tasty.
The alternator.
It ripped them up. I'm looking at the weapon list right here, right now. But Lego was saying in the game that we won, it was a 2v3, and this guy was standing still, just trying to lay into Lego, or maybe he was shooting you, Hove, to like put you out of the game or drop. Maybe he was shooting you, but he had exotic armor because when I was shooting him, I was getting yellow numbers that weren't crits, and I dumped like 3 mags into this dude before he went down. I got hosed, Hove got hosed, and then Lego pulled off the 2v1, and it was super epic, dude. It was the exact same feeling of clutching a Trials.
Yeah, like this is the closest I've felt. Like I think that's what's hooked me the most. Like I feel like the same way I did in Trials. Like when
remember in Trials in D1 when everyone would go down and I'd be like, okay, like I lived for those moments when your teammates went down. It wasn't a bummer when they went down. It was like, oh, this is my chance.
Did you regularly? Was that like something that happened to you a lot? Like 2 people going down on you?
But I'm serious though. Like
Was it like one at a time or like
the hell of a guy?
2 at the same time?
Tell me your secret.
No, for real though, that feeling, like I feel like I kind of get that same vibe here when 2 people go down and it's like I have the chance for the 1v3. It just it makes it so fun.
And I will say, like, this is still all. There's gonna be people out there that just don't. Well, no, I would say there's still gonna be people out there that don't like it. That's fine,
for sure.
But I am just, like I said, very impressed, and it's well above any expectations I had for it. It's a lot of fun. And one thing, going back a little bit, when we were talking about the like respawn beacon areas, how they can only be used once, that also is a way. Now it may not happen every time, but we also use that as strategy, because if you guys remember, there were 2 in the circle. There was one close to us when you guys were fighting, and I was watching it, and I was like, okay, it's close. And then by the time you guys got my banner, and we're gonna go over there, it had disappeared, which meant that somebody had just used it. So we knew, like, okay, this is where one of the last 2 teams is. They're over in this direction. Let's circle around this way, get to the other one, and then we can come in on the last 2 teams. And
not to mention, you also kind of get a dial in of their numbers as well. You know, there's at least going to be 2 or 3 if they just pick someone up. You know what I mean? Like that. Granted, that's not a huge amount of info, but it could make the difference. You know what I mean? Especially if there's only 2 of them. Because we spotted them from a mile away.
Yeah.
And they came right at us. And I think there was like 15, 16 some odd grenades tossed between both
Oh my
teams.
god, they had so many grenades.
Why'd they have so many?
Crazy. It was raining fire. Like Hallelujah.
It was raining men.
Fire. Yes, it definitely was raining men. Hove got really excited, and I was like, bro, that's fire, not men.
And I was like, but men are fire?
Yes.
But no, I have nothing at this point but good
good.
things to say. I love playing it. I highly recommend. I have seen a lot of people that hate, actually MTash, specifically when it came out a day or so later, was like, it looks super fun. I love watching it, but I hate battle royales. And then like a day later, I saw him tweet, I can't believe how much I love this game.
Right. Me too.
Yeah. The nice thing,
that way too.
Quickly, just to add on, it's not even. Yes, part of it is that it has blown up, so it's kind of a bandwagon thing. A lot of people are playing it because it's new and popular. But the number of people who are flat out saying like what we're saying, like, holy shit, this is so much fun, is really high. It's not just like people playing it because it's new. People are outwardly enjoying it like quite a bit. Like I think Triple Wreck was tweeting, he was like, not only is this the best battle royale game I played, this is the most fun I've had playing a game with friends maybe ever.
Yes. Yeah. Dude, I legit like downloaded it to play with Sam because I wanted something to play with Sam. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. It'll be fun. And just like any battle royale, I'll like it for a little bit and then be over it.
Which could still happen.
Which could still happen, but like it was one of the first times that I went into a game with basically 0 expectations.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. Like, like I said, dude, I'm fucking done pre-ordering games. Like, I'm over it, dude. Like, I'll play the game if it's fucking good from now on. Like, I'm done pre-ordering for beta access and all this bullshit. Like, I'm done. Like, so to go into a game with, what was that skit on Mad TV, lowered expectations or whatever? Going into a game with lowered expectations was good for me, like I said, because I'm the fucking hype man. You guys know me. When something's coming up, I'm usually the hype guy.
I don't know if we mentioned it all. It's same as Fortnite. It's free to play.
Oh yeah, and it's fucking free.
That's getting a lot of people to actually play it who aren't into battle royales because it's free,
not?
And they
on
know that
every platform, maybe not Mac,
not Switch yet, but and they mentioned one that crossplay is coming at some point. They did say that they're looking into making that happen. But real quick, with the free thing and the accessibility thing and the whole thing about it being BR and how it appeals to everyone, you know, I mentioned earlier how they really address the Respawn company, like all of the problems that happen with BRs. And I think that's one of the reasons it's been so successful during this launch. But if you remember, during Titanfall 2, everyone was praising the campaign of Titanfall 2 because when it came out and people played it, they were like, what did they say? They came out with a statement like, we basically asked ourselves, what are some levels that we could put in a campaign that would just be like what would be the most fun thing we could do? Story related, does not have to be related, just what it would be the funnest thing to do in this world that we've created. And they did that and made every level connect through these different ideas of what would be the most fun thing to do. And I feel like they put that into a BR game where they were just like, what would be the most fun and what are the problems, and let's just fix all those things and make the fun things happen. And they took everything from all these different games like Overwatch, abilities and stuff. People are loving that. Let's try and do that. Let's take the spotting and recon stuff from Battlefield where you can mark stuff super easily.
Let's take the gunplay of Call of Duty.
Yeah, call of our original, like they were known for their Infinity Ward, shooter stuff from Titanfall and Call of Duty. And so, well, once they became Respawn. And they just took all these different things from all these different games and made this game that is a perfect mix of all these things. The speed of Fortnite, but with some of the strategy of PUBG where it's not too jumpy and just like quirky. Like it still has its quirkiness, but it's not the build fest that is Fortnite, because a lot of people turned off by Fortnite from the building.
The building could be annoying. If you hate building, awesome BR. If you hate the sluggishness, pace of battle of PUBG, perfect high octane. If you like to rush in and try to be the guy that makes a fucking entrance, this is the game for you. You could do some cool shit. Like, with my character, the Pathfinder, his ultimate, he could shoot this like really long zip line for you and your team to go, and you can zip. It doesn't have to be downhill. You like use a little booster. You can send that motherfucker uphill and reverse zip line and get the high ground and awesome terrain. But he also has like a grappling hook that he can throw out, and it pulls you in. And if you time it on corners and like certain things, it like flings you past cover. And there's awesome times that people have been running at me and I've shot my grappling hook behind them and it pulls me past them, and I can spin around in the air and light them up while I'm doing it.
Dude,
it's a really fun strategy to try. Like there's really cool things like the no fall damage. Like you could just bail out. You could just bail out no matter where you are. And it makes for some people might not like that, but like, dude, if you're getting your ass kicked and you want to get the hell away, and the only thing between you getting away is like a giant cliff behind you, like, take it.
And keep in mind, it's not even like an ability or something. Like if I do it to get away, that person can come right behind me too.
Yes.
So it's just extra movement. It's not so much like an automatic escape.
It's really cool, man.
But I think this is the last thing I think I'm going to say, because we're getting pretty long.
Yeah.
But I think some people may look at this as like another company said, let's make a battle royale, which to a point is true. That's what's hot right now.
Yeah.
But I think for them, it was about as smart a move as you were going to make, because both Titanfalls, from the people who did play it, critics and everything, got rave reviews for its gunplay and the campaign and everything, and everyone said the mechanics were great and everything. But both games they released at these terrible times when there was a big Call of Duty release or a big Destiny release or both, and they really got buried. Like, I never really saw much bad said about either Titanfall. People that played it,
second one.
Yeah, people that played it loved it, but it got buried. So it was kind of a really smart move, like we said, to kind of take the assets they already had made, this gunplay in this game that was very, very well reviewed, and turn it into what's popular right now at a time when there weren't any other big releases going on. Right? Like, what else? I mean, it's February. Not
only that, but they beat the punch to other games that were coming. Like next month, I think it's March. Battlefield 5 is coming out with it, which is funny because it's EA too. So, but I feel like EA was just like, let's throw money into both of these, and just whichever one works. If we can take the Fortnite crowd, then we won already. So
if it can maintain people's interest, this is the best candidate to do so, in my opinion.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you.
I hate to say like, oh, Fortnite killer. Like, it's not that I want to see a game not do well.
Yeah,
because that is awesome that they're doing well. Because if Fortnite has brought one good thing to my life in video gaming, it's that all the kids are there. and not in my lobbies.
Oh, you're stealing that post from that guy.
Man.
Like, that's basically what it is, dude. Like, it's perfect. Like, it's the best explained. How did he put it? Best game I've never played. Basically, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is good because those kids need a place to go amongst like-minded people. You know what I mean? Like, they're all having fun. We can have fun. It's like, I hate to call it the adult Fortnite, but
he's a dude, she's a dude.
It feels like it. It feels like
we're all dudes. Hey.
Feels like the big kid Fortnite.
See,
you know what
I feel like it's a place for like everyone. Like, I feel like it's drawing all the crowds. It's like I was saying earlier, it's like got a bit of every single game. So you're drawing literally the people who play Fortnite and also the people who don't, who said I'm never gonna play that game or played it once and are like, this isn't for me. And now they're like, actually, maybe BRs are my thing. You know, I didn't know because I just hadn't played the right one.
There just hasn't been a good high octane one. Like, yeah, the Call of Duty one, like, was kind
of a lot
of
people like that. Yeah.
Well, like, because it's fucking high octane. It's not like PUBG's great, dude. Like, to a certain extent, but it's just so slow and methodical.
I will still go back and play PUBG, but they're two totally different types of things.
Yeah.
Fortnite can be fast paced, but you always like you're watching someone like Crafty play, and he's getting ready to gun this kid down, and then he throws up a wall, and then all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, this kid's amassed a freaking tower, a Sears tower, and like they do build that fast, dude. Like some of these people, man,
it's
like
crazy.
They'll spin 360 degrees and be completely in cover, you know. And I didn't think I was ever gonna pick up another BR ever again, and try it. It's free. If you don't like it, you're in the exact same situation that you were before you played the game, which wasn't that bad. You got nothing to lose.
Yeah, I love it.
You can earn all the in-game cosmetics. Now, it's going to take a while for the skins for the guns, but that's kind of the point with weapon skins. But as far as unlocking the other characters, I am halfway to unlocking one character, and I have maybe played 5-6 hours.
Which one are you going to pick?
The Mirage guy.
Yeah, me too.
The poison gas thing's not really my thing.
Poison gas, though, is good.
To be fair to them, it's free to play, so like they got to make money. So same as Fortnite, there's going to be skins and characters and stuff to buy. But if you don't want to buy it, don't fucking buy it.
Yep.
You can actually, but like not even necessarily don't buy it. Like you can eventually get those characters like in game, and it doesn't seem like it's going to take that long. And the last thing that I'm going to say about the game is, I think that's what's going to make future updates really cool is when they start introducing characters with those updates. It could completely change the squad mentality depending on what abilities that they give said future characters. It's not just an update where, yeah, sure, weapons might be a little different. Maybe there's a new section of the map, but now there's a new character. You know what I mean? That's gameplay. That's not just a map.
And even reworks like Overwatch, even when they don't introduce a new character, but they rework someone's abilities.
That's true.
That completely changes metas and everything too. So
they
do have to be on top of that though, I think, because you don't want to settle into in a game like this a meta where there's 3 obvious characters to pick and all you see is people ziplining all over the place or whatever it may be.
It's already kind of
coming to terms with one of the greatest characters. That's what that sounded like.
It's already kind of balanced with you can't have all of the same characters, so there's always you may be able to find the 3 people that could happen.
Trust me, Lego. From like you said with Overwatch, there will become a meta. There will be this is really really good, and that's what everyone starts to gravitate to. It will happen 100%.
It'll be which 3 are most symbiotic.
Yep, absolutely.
Which I'm guessing is going to be healer, 100%. Probably the airstrike person, and I don't know. I got high hopes for my guy.
For Zippy Zip.
All right, Brendan Urie.
Just saying, I got high hopes, man. He's cool.
Well, this has been a fun episode of REZOcast. We got to dig into a lot. We want to real quick thank our sponsors, Boom Microphones and Headphones, for sponsoring this podcast. They're not Apex Legend branded yet, but maybe eventually. If you want a code to get 20% off, bluemic.com. Use code REZOcast. Great deal, great products. We love them. And if you want to learn more about Team Resolute, you can find more about them at Team Resolute on Twitter. You can find more about us, our podcast, at REZOcast. We'd love to hear your thoughts on how you're feeling about Apex Legends or what you're looking forward to. Are you going to be playing Crimson Days? Are you going to be doing doubles? Let us know. Me and Wilson might be looking for doubles partners, or he might be my partner. I don't know.
What do you say? You come here often, Lego?
I like how I keep getting left out here.
Well, he asked. That's all I'm saying.
No.
Let's do a. We'll all three play.
I'm a one guy kind of guy.
We'll all sit in the party. Whoever does the worst walks. The next person comes on.
Oh, I like this.
And then whoever has the lowest.
Walks. I've done this before. Yeah, I like this.
We'll just switch on and off. That way, we're always switching out, no matter what.
Super Smash. I used to do this with Super Smash. Whoever was the lowest, whoever like died first, they were out, and we swap out with other people at the party. That was great. Anyways, you can find me Lego Le Flash at Lego whatever. You can find me Lego playing Apex as Wraith. It'll be awesome. At Lego LE Flash on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Hove. Where can you find you?
Where can you find you?
Where can you find you?
I can find me wherever I am. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Hove76. It's HOV76. I have been back to streaming a little bit. I don't know how regular it'll be, but I do enjoy. We had some nice conversation last time. We had a few people stop in. It was fun, so I appreciate that. And special Apex Legends present this week. We're not going to raid anybody. When the podcast is over, we're going to take about a 10-minute break while we get ready, and I'm going to stream some Apex Legends with Wilson and maybe Lego.
Yeah, we'll play a few games.
We'll play a few games. So, yeah, when we're done here, stick around for about 5-10 minutes, and we're going to do some Apex Legends. That's where you can find me. You can find me in the hood.
You can find me in the club.
You can find me in the club.
You can find me
the strip
on
club.
Twitter.
To clarify.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, with a bottle full of bub, we know. But you can find me on Twitter at Apex Pathfinder Top 500. That's my new Twitter handle. Until then, though, before I change it, though, it's actually just Ryu Wilson. So hit me up. Still doing Pokemon Go. Still doing a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. Holy shit, am I addicted to that? But we'll save that for next week. So, yeah.
And by next week, he means never.
Well, this has been REZOcast, episode 121. Thanks for joining us. Till next time, y'all.
Wait,
GG.
Lego.
GG.
I'm just kidding. Bye.